both teams would score like they did in the second half. The defenses coming in, both teams' defenses have been very good, and they were in the first half. But second half, just obviously neither team could really stop each other. Obviously, the free throw blockout misses for us. I think we had 2 were critical. Proud of our guys for fighting. We just kind of the second game in a row where we dug ourselves a hole and just had to kind of keep battling all the way back. Certainly the fouling was a problem for us at the end. And again, they made 1 or 2 more plays. Colin Murray Boyle down the stretch was probably the difference. Questions for me?
Brad, you mentioned the second half scoring. First half, your Chase had 0 points, which you don't see very often. What did you tell the guys at halftime, and did he say anything at halftime?
I just thought I didn't think we had very good pace. I didn't think we did a lot of what we came into the game trying to do. I thought we made soft cuts. They pressured us a little bit. It bothered us some. We just didn't have the energy and the competitive fight that we needed from the start. Why that is, I don't really know. Obviously, I think we got it throughout the course of the game. You know, both teams are obviously going to play a little better offensively when the benches are helping, but you know, I don't really know why that was. Certainly, Chase's play was tremendous in the second half for us in overtime.
Brad, with losing Victor and Ian there, kind of in end of regulation, then overtime, just how crucial was that with them fouling out? And then going off that with South Carolina, what can you say about them, and what's your assessment of the way they play?
Yeah, obviously that was, you know, Victor had one of his poorer games for us all year. He's coming off a great game and for whatever reason didn't play well tonight. Yeah, Ian fouling out is obviously a problem with Victor already fouled out. We've got Christian in there who doesn't play a whole lot for us, still kind of a developmental big that I'm proud of him. I thought he did some good things. You know, and obviously they had to battle. Colin Murray Boyles was in some foul trouble, so he didn't play as much as he normally plays. Both teams were jockeying all game. You know, they have a good team. They can play big, they can play small. Pringle helps them when they have he and Boyles out there. They're a big, strong, physical team, and they can, you know, a guy like Studi has shot the ball poorly all year, makes 5 threes against us today, you know. But they can spread you and put pressure on your team because of that. And being able to we talked about big lineup versus small lineup in the game, but we didn't have an answer for it.
You mentioned Ian and Colin. There was kind of like a game within the game where both of them kind of going one-on-one, especially when they both had foul trouble. But what was kind of your perspective of watching those two go at it, have the nights they did, and really do their best trying to keep their teams in the game despite playing a good chunk of the second half with 4 fouls?
Yeah, I mean, they're both terrific players, you know. Colin's a little longer and a little more athletic. Ian's just, I mean, he just plays with tremendous heart and spirit. And, you know, they're big pieces of both teams because of it. They're both smart players. They both have high assist numbers this year, unselfish guys. So certainly terrific guys to coach and watch play.
Brad, you lose back-to-back games, tough games in overtime against good opponents. I'm guessing you don't have to reinvent the wheel here. What do you think you need to tweak before Wake Forest and going forward in the ACC?
You know, I don't know. I just kind of like I told my team, I need to watch the film to have a better understanding of what really happened. I just didn't think we played very well. And some of that South Carolina in the first half. Offensively, we were very poor. Defensively, we were okay. Competitive on some things. We got our win back, confidence back. Got a little bit of rhythm in the second half. You know, it was hard because Victor wasn't playing very well for whatever reason. I need to see why that is. And he's been a piece that's been a good player for us. So, you know, I probably need to watch more before I can give you a better answer to that.
You mentioned Miles Studi hadn't had the best year. Did he take y'all a little bit off guard today, and did y'all try to make?
You know, no. We labeled him as a shooter because, you know, basically almost all his shots are threes. But it's hard. They've got a lot of guys that can shoot, Ugasuk has been shooting the lights out lately, if that's how you pronounce his name. And then Thomas is a good player who didn't shoot it well tonight. Jacoby Wright can make threes. I mean, they can spread you out with, 4 and 5 guys that can shoot the ball in. And then obviously they've got good interior players that can score. So they're being physical down low like we are. And they can be a tough cover at times. And so this was a quick turnaround for us. That was an emotional loss to Memphis. I mean, it was hard. We've had a tough run here with a huge win against Kentucky, and then we got to go on the road right away and play a conference game, and then bounce back. And we had finals, and not an excuse because we had plenty of practices and all that, and we played a very good Memphis team, and kind of lost it at the end. That was emotionally draining. And then you got the rivalry game on the road, so you got no juice from the fans. You're actually, it's just you, and you got to really have spirit and toughness. And I'm proud of the way we fought to give ourselves chances, but it's like I told the guys, and I told it in the after the game against Memphis, it's not a game you can just play hard. Playing hard isn't going to be enough. In this rivalry, you got to execute, and we didn't execute. We had missed blockouts. We had a couple fouls in the front court that now they get to go down and shoot free throws. We're giving them points. Obviously, we had a couple other things that were problematic. The longer the game went, we got a little better, but then we probably died at the end. I thought we'd been tired late in both overtimes and haven't been able to get the stops we need. Somehow, I have to do a better job. I needed to do a better job of helping my team figure out how to stop Boyles.
Brad, you talked about the team not playing well in the first half without watching the tape. Was that more about what South Carolina was doing or lack of execution?
I think it's a combination. I think their aggressiveness and just, good plan, and just they're a good defensive team. I mean, we told our guys, these guys don't make many mistakes. They're in front of you. They have a couple different ball screen coverages that they mix up nicely. And they're athletic, long. They've got some length. Good on-ball guys. So they're just very sound. They don't turn the ball over, or they don't have bad floor balance, so you're not going to get a bunch of transition. We got a few in the second half, which was good. So you have to really execute. And we looked a little disjointed at times. I didn't, flow wasn't good. I don't know why we weren't flowing as well as I would have liked in the first half. And I thought we took some poor shots.
Got time for a couple more. Brad, I know you've talked about this in years past, but playing this game in December as opposed to like November when the students are still in school.
Yeah.
At the other side, I mean,
it's I've dealt with this for 15 years or whatnot. It's a hard schedule. I don't want this to be our opener. I really don't want it to be our second game. I'd like for both teams to play a little bit so we can figure out who we have, especially in this day and age. And then all of a sudden you got, we're playing conference games the first week. We got the ACC, SEC Challenge. We always have, MTE tournaments. They do. We have finals. There's just so many things that it becomes a really hard, small window to try to figure it out. And we don't have it all solved now for next year. So I know next year you kind of do these 2 years. So when we play here with no students, they'll come back and play with no students. We do that, but. Anyway, it's not an easy one to solve.
Last one in the back.
Coach, when you're down, I think 7 with a minute and a half left, Chase, goes for 3 threes, including the incredible one at the end. What are you thinking about how he's able to just lead this team back and will you guys into the game?
Yeah, he's a terrific player. I'm super proud of him because he's grown as a young man and player, in our program for a long time. And certainly he's showing his talent. And those are big time plays. He's probably the only guy on our team that can do all that. And, to do it when you need it is not easy, especially after he's coming off a game where he made a big time shot and then had a couple tough plays at the end. But it shows great resiliency and obviously I'm very proud of him. Zoom, are we good?